guys, Jess here. I'm back, and in today's video I am sharing with you a small craft room organization or reorganization makeover, if you will, that I've done with a client recently. And I wanted to share it with you because I think a lot of people can relate to having small craft spaces, a corner, or you're sharing a space with a spare bedroom or a guest room. And so you just have a little area that you need to try to maximize so that you can house all your craft supplies, but also still be productive, which can be challenging for a lot. So I love this little space that we have redone, and I wanted to share because I think there's a lot of helpful tips and tricks that we did to maximize her space. Now I don't have an official tour, and I'm sorry about that, but I do have a lot of photos, so I'm going to pop up and share with you as we walk through this makeover, if you will, or organization. So the client came to me just saying, like, I need help. Like, you know, I have a small room. It's a multifunction room. It serves as a guest room, a storage room, and her craft room. And it's quite small. I'll put the dimensions up here somewhere in the screen so you can see what it is. So it's just large enough to fit a twin size bed in and have a little bit of room. And there's this tiny little closet that she used for storage as well. Honestly, the cutest little house that this room is in. But she was doing okay with the space. She had some really great she had this really great like foundational piece, this shelving unit that she got from IKEA that was perfect for the space. And really the exercise that we follow through is the core steps that I guide you guys on in reaching your end goal, which is organization. And so all the pieces in the room essentially were staying: the bed, the shelving unit. She did want to replace the desk area. It was more, I think that was a foldable table, if I recall correctly. She did want to replace that with a different desk. And she was looking for additional storage solutions that could help keep her tidy, but maximize her space and make her products accessible. She also wanted to make sure that she could access her Cricut, because it was just in the bag on the floor and she had no dedicated space for that. And she really wanted to start using it, which I don't blame her, right? So once we took an assessment of what she was looking for, I made a plan and I came back to her with the plan, which was utilizing as much as we could that she already owned, and then taking into consideration a new desk. And then I mapped out, which I'll put here, I mapped out zones in her shelving unit as well as zones in her closet where things were going to be housed. So everything had a home. And I sent that to her for review and approval. She loved the idea because, like I said, she had the foundations were there. It was just building upon that and really helping her identify a place for everything, and also understanding that this really defines how much you can own. So once we agreed upon that, we got started, and she went in and did a lot of decluttering at first. She purchased the desk that she wanted ahead of time. And so by the time I got there, she had already done a good portion of the work. And so really, for me, it was fine-tuning and again, helping her complete those zones that we had already mapped out. So now I'm going to share with you the after, and I'll talk through the solutions that we put in place. So here's an overview of what we've done. As you can see, the closet, just like night and day. I'm so excited about the closet, and I'll go into detail about that in a minute. Her shelving unit, everything is categorized and organized. Everything has a home. We even have a place for her Cricut now, which was one of her goals. That was super exciting. And then her desk area, which I love as well. As you can see, we utilized the wall space for storage, and I'll go into a little bit more detail about that. She's got her new desk in place, shelving above, and so everything's accessible and usable. And now she actually has a place to sit and craft, which is so exciting. So exciting. So I want to go back. I'm going to start with the closet. I'll start in the back of the room. So her closet before, let me pop in a before picture again so you guys can see it. It really was storing a little bit of everything. So what she had done on her own was she had actually removed a lot of stuff that was in there. So she had a lot of coats and bags, and part of the decluttering process, she realized, I don't need a lot of this stuff. So she was able to get rid of a lot, and it actually transcended or it was a kind of a snowball effect for her. And she also went into her own closet and decluttered a lot. And so she found room in her bedroom closet for the bits of clothing and jackets that she had in this room, freeing up closet space. And so with my closet design for her, I really wanted to make it a wrapping station, because she had all of her wrapping paper in that closet. It was in a bin on the floor, which is taking up valuable floor space. So my recommendation was to get a over-the-door pantry unit, and we created that to be a wrapping paper storage, and she could also place bags and bows and tape in the other containers, and I think that came out really well. And again, it freed up floor space in the closet, and so that just came out so good. I'm so thrilled with that. She picked up the over-the-door storage unit at Walmart. It intended for pantries, but it had the wire holders, which are perfect for the wrapping paper. Now, the Container Store does offer a solution, but it's significantly more expensive. So I'll put a link below to this over-the-door unit that she purchased in case you guys are interested. And so we've got her wrapping paper. She did also declutter and destash some of her wrapping paper. She got rid of ones that she didn't love. And so that's what's left, which was awesome too. And so that'll fit on the door. And then the rest of her closet was for those items that she doesn't access regularly. Her sewing machine, her travel totes for her scrapbooking, and her cart with her die cutting machine. They need to be accessible, but not all the time. And so that's what I like to use closets for, is for that overstock or for those items that you don't access on the regular basis. And so that's how we utilized this closet. And I think it came out great. Everything is accessible, easy to find, and it has a place. So well organized. Loved how the closet came out. So good. So now we're going to move over to her shelving unit. And she got this unit from IKEA. Again, I will link that below. I think it is a fabulous purchase. I love this unit. Not only is it beautiful, but the shelves are adjustable, which are awesome. And so basically, I'll show you again. I took that unit and kind of mapped out preliminary, kind of like where I think everything should live, like kind of designating a home for everything. And then we put it into practice on the shelving unit. So at the very top are containers that she needs to access, but not as often because they're higher up. You know, that again, when I think vertical space at the tip top, it kind of like a closet, it's stuff that you don't need to access all the time. And so that's what we placed up there. So kind of her vinyl, her foil quill stuff, and some other products that she uses, but not frequently. And then on the next shelf down is all of her papers. So on the right side is all her different cardstocks, her 12x12, her 8.5x11, and the magazine holders. Those worked well for her. She really likes them. She does plan on updating the cardboard ones over time to the plastic ones, so they're more sturdy. But again, we just put that in order. She already had those kind of in place, so it was just really tidying them up. I think she actually purchased a few more to add the cardstock to. And then the section to the left of that is all her collections that she has put together in the plastic envelope system. Again, this fit perfectly in there. And then she can go in and label the spines when she has time, so they're easy to find. But that's all her collections she's put together. Different manufacturers or kits that she has purchased over time are on that section. And then below that are her Michael's Cube units that have the paper slots. So that's where I put her loose paper pads and like her Christmas collections and her extra page protectors. So all that stuff that wasn't in another container that she needed access to and made sense really are in those cube units. And I was able to achieve them stacked because the shelves, like I said, are adjustable in this IKEA unit, and so I just moved that up and I was able to stack the two cube units together, which worked out beautifully. And then if we move over to the right, I've got her Cricut station, which again, I'm so excited we were able to achieve this for her. This is was her goal, to have access to her Cricut machine, that it was out and accessible at any given moment. And so I used some pantry plate shelves or some pantry metal shelves that you would put in and to stack items in a pantry. I used that to lift up some items to take advantage of the vertical space in this shelf unit, because as you can see, there's a lot of room from top to bottom. And so I recommended her getting some of these pantry shelves so that we could stack things, if you will, but she still had access to everything without having to take something off and putting it back on. So we've got her Project Life cards there on the left of the Cricut on top. So again, those are tucked away in another bin and she wasn't accessing them. So I put them out in the open to remind her that they are still there, but they're still contained and easily portable to her desk. She doesn't typically take those when she goes scrapping for crops. So that was okay to leave it in a container that didn't have a lid or a handle. Below that is her Cricut tools. So she's got her tools in one of them and then cords in the other, and they're labeled so that she knows. And then if you go under her Cricut, that has all her manuals and guides that she's printed over the time to help her with using her Cricut. That's tucked under there. And obviously her Cricut's on top. Now, since we've redone her room, she actually ordered the legs for the Cricut. So it's no longer on the pantry shelf, but I thought that was so cool. I found those after I had done her initial design and I sent it over to her. I said, you know, they make legs for the Cricut if you're interested. And so since then she's purchased them and she absolutely loves them. And so then below the Cricut, she had a couple of pantry shelves that like slide on. They're like baskets. And so she had some overstock of cardstock that we couldn't fit into the shelf up above. So I said, you know, let's put these here, kind of a quick grab. You could use these first if they're easily accessible, but it's also right near your Cricut. So if you want to cut out some things, you have papers right there that you don't have to pull out of your magazine holders. So we put those there. Again, great utilization of vertical space. So I love that. Taking advantage of all that we could, because again, this is a small room, so you really have to maximize and get creative and use every inch. So, and then below the Cricut, these are all her totes with her various projects and grouped supplies. So like, if we look at the right, at the very bottom, she's got her mixed media container. So that's like all her shimmer paste and sprays and paints. All of that is in that tote. And above that, I believe that's all her dyes. And tools, you know, embossing stuff. In the middle, those are project cases. So she has projects already prepared so that when she goes to crops, she can just take one of those containers and it's already got a project. Everything she needs for that project is in that container. So we put those below and they're labeled. And then to the left, she's got her bins with her tape runners and other adhesive there that are easily accessible. But again, on the bottom, so kind of a lot like the top, on the bottom again is stuff that she doesn't access too regularly, but again, it's there and it reminds her it's there and it is accessible. But really in your line of sight on those middle shelves, you know, you really should put what you access most often because they are at, you know, at eye level and easy to access. And then there over on the left-hand side, under the paper, the Michaels paper cubes, those are also project totes that she had prepared to take with her. So she's already got a lot of projects in flight, which is awesome, awesome, awesome. So I really love the utilization of this shelving unit. We could even go a step further if we wanted to, and we could have added, you know, higher shelving where the Cricut was to take advantage of that vertical space. That might be something that she decides in the future because we have a little bit of room to grow. But for now, it meets her needs, and I think it just really came out really, really well. And, you know, the key piece to this was not only finding and defining a home for everything, but starting off with the destashing, right? She really had product that she didn't even know she had, and also she didn't even love anymore. So that helped us find room for everything in this unit. And so now she has a place for everything, but also knows what she owns and how much of it she can own, because this defines how much she can own. So this unit was great. All right, so my other favorite section here is her desk area, which I absolutely love. So, and this space, so she ordered 2 of these door pantry units. This one's a little bit different. It had bigger, deeper baskets. But we were thinking initially to put that on her door to, again, take advantage of the vertical space. And doors are wonderful, a great way to utilize wall space, if you will, like vertical space, because, you know, they're doors. We don't often think about using them for storage. So that was the plan originally, but then once we got going, we decided to permanently fix this pantry door unit on the wall for storage and have it right next to her desk. And so what we use this for is all her die cut ephemera embellishments. So we use the iris photo containers, and we put all her embellishments in those photo containers by category. So categories that made sense to her, like holiday theme or colors or type. She had a variety of all of that there. And then in the lower baskets, she has her thickers and large stickers that fit in there. Again, line of sight, easy to grab. And it makes sense to her, right? It's right there for her to use out in the open. And those are organized in a fashion that makes sense to her, kind of like types of sticker. At the very bottom, she has all her paper trimmers. So again, accessible, easy to use. I believe those are extras. And then on the very top, she has cups with different markers and tools that she used. So it takes up so little room, but look at how much we maximize the storage there. All of that originally was in containers on her shelf that she didn't even, and they were spread about in different containers. She didn't know they were there. So now we've taken this and put it in a place where it's easy for her to see, easy for her to find, easy for her to maintain, and it's right there by her desk. Where before, you know, she had this drawer unit that just really wasn't working for her, right? Everything was kind of just tossed in there. So she's very much visual, and this worked for her. And I just love this solution. So I just want to encourage you all, when you have small spaces, look at your walls, see what you can do with your walls, because you don't have to take up a lot of floor space to bring a storage solution to your room. So I was super excited about this solution as well. And then if you look at her desk, which is the one she chose for the space, it's actually backwards, I think, in the picture. But she's going to turn it around because she wants the shelves on that right-hand side. But the shelves hold her tool caddies, which she uses all the time, but those are grab and go for when she scraps. So it's got all her regular tools that she used. So perfect space for that. And then on the lower shelves, she had these little handheld baskets that I think were previously in her kitchen that we utilized to put her scissors and punches are in there, and other supplies that she would use quite regularly. But again, make it easy to grab, and didn't necessarily need to be in a closed tote over on her shelf. So again, it's something that she doesn't often bring with her or ever to a crop, and so it just made sense for it to be accessible. She also has these clear containers on the wall that have little bits and pieces that was there previously, so she's continued to use that. I think there was some like clothespins and other items, thread, and so on and so forth in those bins. So again, this looks so nice. And again, like, she had basically almost no storage on this wall with her desk besides that drawer unit that wasn't working for her. And now we've turned it into a functional space with lots of storage, right, that she can keep organized. So love, love, love that for her. And then above her desk, she has two shelves that she originally had a lot of, memorabilia and trinkets on in the room. Because again, this is also a spare bedroom. We have to remember that. So she's going to go back and add that decor, but it also opened up a lot of space for her to still have some containers for her supplies. So we put like her small brads and ephemera pieces up there. I think those are her small tape run, additional tape run refill. So she's got two areas, one that's close to her desk, one that's for overstock. Again, and I think she's got also her books, like layout books and stuff that are on the top of the shelf, again, right near her desk and accessible. So again, utilizing that vertical space, which is a trend you're hearing in this video, but it's key for a small space. So that sums up this client's room. Again, I'm going to put a before and after here so you guys can see the changes. It just is phenomenal, and the client's really happy. I'm so pleased for her. I'm so excited about these solutions we came up with. So I hope you found value in this video. I hope I sparked some ideas for you guys in your small spaces. I'll link what I can below in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.